1, 2, 3.
Hello again. How have you been? I hope you're all still enjoying that new school year smell. I won't lie to you, I had thought that maybe there would be a little bit less news this year. Just at the start, life is determined to stay interesting. With campuses full and classes loud again, I like to say that while we haven't made it back to normal, we've made it back together. And after the couple of years we've had, that isn't nothing. On that note, full campuses have showed us just exactly how much testing we need to conduct most weeks, especially in secondary following exposures. So far, masks and strong protocols have stopped transmission from taking place on campus, but some of our administrative staffs are spending almost all of their time administering tests, sometimes hundreds per week, and they have other jobs to do. So our schools are partnering with the pros. Inspired Diagnostics will take over testing at our school sites using much more accurate PCR tests, which can test for the actual virus, not just your body's response to it like some other tests. This will make it a lot easier and more efficient for us to keep schools safe and open, but it does require you to fill out another form linked on this page. And when you fill it out online, it will ask you for insurance info, but you will never have to pay anything. It's free. And if you don't have insurance, no worries. You can still sign up for it and your student can still be tested at school. And if your student can be tested at school, they can remain in school following an exposure. And this form signs them up for two things: exposure testing and screening. Exposure testing is what your student does in the event of an exposure so they can stay in class. Screening is a test your student will be offered once a week to make sure they are well and that we're not missing any cases of COVID. And I will say, the more students who participate in this screening test, the faster we'll detect any cases, the more we'll be able to limit exposure, and the less COVID will impact our schools. As always, we are still posting all of our positive cases on our dashboard, the same page where you can find specifics on all of our safety protocols. We will link that page on here as well. On that note, now that Pfizer's COVID vaccine has been given full FDA approval, since the hundreds of millions of recipients have proven it to be safe and extremely effective, we do encourage everyone in our community, 12 and up, to make your appointment. Well over 350,000 shots have been given just in our county alone. If you've been waiting, this thing has passed the test, and you can help keep schools open by protecting your family with it. And it's free. I wanted to remind all secondary families, that's middle and high schools, that our new mental health counselors have open doors on every campus and that they're an available support resource for anyone. It doesn't have to be an emergency or a crisis, though they can help with that. They are there to support everybody. And in elementary school, we have full-time counselors available to offer the same support, thanks to you, Santa Cruz, for passing Measures T and U and giving our kids mental and emotional health support. So thanks again. And finally, again, things are more interesting than we hoped they'd be, but things should never get too interesting for us to celebrate what's good. And we all just came back to school for the first time in a year and a half. Let yourself celebrate that. Things are still tough, but while we didn't make it back to normal, we've made it back together. And I'll see you next week. And in the meantime, feel free to reach out if there's anything that you need. And we'll see you soon.